calendar. I said, it's the day after the last day of spring. But anyways, Toby chimed in and said, it's June 21st. So, John's obviously very interested in that as well. Who knows? Maybe we'll get him to visit us for our next group activation. Sadly, the gentleman that was missing from yet another group activation was our friend Walter, VE3WMI, my counterpart. Anyways, I haven't even messaged him to see what happened. I would hate to think that he blew up another car trying to get to with a park. But at least Edward, VE3VYT, made a showing this time. Last time he was supposed to activate from that park, he got stuck in traffic and ended up on the north side of the lake. Anyways, I think that's enough for now. Looking forward to some entertainment and joviality, and I'll try to behave. Back to you, Charles, VA3IMW. I'm along for the ride.
All right, very good. Yeah, there's always next time, and there's always someone who has, an excuse or a reason, I should say, for not making it. But the last, well, you got it. What, a dozen? I think you said there for the amount of people, and you had picnic tables. I saw there from Huey's aerial photo.
Yeah, I don't remember the picnic tables being there previously from when I activated there last fall. But yeah, lo and behold, they were there. And by the time I pulled in, Chris, our Ancaster Chris, already had his back puck on the table and was getting his radio plugged in. And I says, you got your stuff going on there. I'm just going to leave my stuff in the truck. Fire away. Let's go. I'll get my computer out and let's get the live stream going. So yeah, the whole event was off of VA3WPG's ICOM 706 or 7000, whatever the heck it is. Anyways, nice little radio shack in the box. Yeah. And we had a long wire up for 40 meters, and obviously it worked on 40 meters, 20 meters. It worked all over the place. Had a couple of verticals go up. Wade tested out his very experimental 10-meter vertical constructed out of a piece of coax, and it worked seamlessly. So he's, I guess he's patenting the process so he can replace MFJ in the market. Anyways, that was the excitement for the weekend. I still have to work out the settings on my web camera. Did not work out for live streaming. They were overexposed, kind of blanked out in white. So that's why I downloaded that OBS software, see if I can get that under control. So next time I'm doing a live stream from outdoors, I want to get the camera settled down so that it's not washed out, totally washed out, completely white. And I don't want to seem like we're only white streaming. Anyways, pick it up before I say something I shouldn't.
Yeah, yes, I agree with the white balance, the whitewash. I noticed that as well. So, all right, I did look at that software briefly though, but I thought there was a bit more involved than my needs are for. And as I replied to you there, or sent you a messenger, that I use Minicam for my streaming. Quite happy with that. That's what we're using on YouTube right now. And if I'm not mistaken, that was Chris's radio you were saying, right? I think it's a 706. Ooh, I said it, 706.
Yes, you did, but it's not Friday night, so it's all right.
All right, very good then. Okay, Mac, I'll let you go for now, and we'll chat more in a bit. So for now, let's say hello to our next customer, which is Mike, VE3KMQ. Mike, come on in.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net this evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Once again, not an awful lot going on with me this evening. Just finished up on Chris's net a little while ago, and thought I'd jump over here to say hello. I guess the only thing that comes to mind that I've been doing, a couple things. I'm wrestling a bit with the mount on one of my monitors. I have two monitors in my shack. One that does, a smaller one that does the screen on the radio, the waterfall and the scope. And the larger one is where I normally put my log on and, access my laptop from. And the thing with it, it's got two, it's basically one arm, but it's in two pivots. And the back pivot won't hold the monitor up. Now, it's not a real problem for me because I always have the monitor in down position. But I discovered it the other day when trying to do something at the back of the monitor. So I went to move the monitor up and it wouldn't stay up. Now, as most people know, there is an adjustment for the gas strut that's in there that you turn it, I guess it's counterclockwise. Well, I did that full max and still doesn't do it. So I've been back and forth with the supplier, which actually is in China. So, we'll see what happens there. I'm trying to get a new mount out of them. It's not that old. It's only, 24 months. So we'll see what happens there. But that's what I've been struggling with, I guess, the last couple of days there, Chuck. Back to you, V3KMQ.
Yes, I understand there, Mike. It's like when you buy something and there's a 1-year warranty. Well, chances are after 1 year and 1 week, it'll fail, and there you are, having to buy something new again, or for you, it's just a mount, but still, it's extra money, right? So. Yeah, well, hopefully you can get something out of them there. They don't like if you're polite and explain your situation, chances are they'll work with you. So hopefully you can get that straightened out. For me, I have a laptop here, and I use I have a what is it a TV a Roku TV. That's it. And I just project my laptop onto the television and go from there. So, but I've always thought about getting extra monitors per se, and still researching that. So, anyways, thanks for checking in, Mike. Big contest coming up this weekend. Are you going to participate in that sideband contest?
Yeah, I think I will. I know I've participated in it in last year and years past. So it's one of the big ones, one of the better ones, I guess. Matter of opinion, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, probably dabble in that at the very least, there, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually go for points, but I do like the DX contacts in my log, so I'm always up for that. So we'll have to wait and see how things go, and still a couple of days to go until then. So, all right, Mike, have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much for checking in, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, very good, Chuck. Thanks as always for doing the net, and we'll look for you next time. VA3CJZ, V3KMQ.
All right, very good then. So we'll clear with Mike and say hello to Larry, VE3LBI.
Yep, thanks, Chuck. Busy day today. I was down at the hospital, had to get some tests run. So that filled up actually this afternoon, and it was getting a little bit late. We were just a little bit of a panic. We didn't know if we were going to be able to get go over and get the grandson, but it worked out fine. And of course, he was here for supper. Other than that, just haven't really done too much. Like I say, this afternoon was busy. This morning was kind of slow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I know, geez, pardon me. I know we were kind of playing hide and seek with the sunshine there for a while. And now it looks like we're getting a bunch of wet stuff for the next, for the weekend, anyways. But hey, you never know. Sometimes it just skirts right by us, and you can't always you can't always go by what the weatherman says. That's for sure. Anyhow, I heard the little fella's moved up to the big boy booster seat now, right?
Yes, I did not have time to put that in today, but I'm going to put it in tomorrow. I wish the dog would stop dropping his bone upstairs. I guess he's only going to come through the floor. But I got to put that in tomorrow for him, so he'll be all set. Those harnesses and the baby seats are just a pain sometimes to get connected and trying to tighten up hard enough. So he'll move into the seat belt portion now.
Ah, very good, very good. Yeah, they start growing like weeds. So very good then. Okay, Larry, thank you so much for checking in, sir. You going to stick around?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. By the way, if you know anybody's interested, I do have that car seat, and we have a stroller here that's no longer being used either. So if you happen to know anybody that knows anybody, get in touch with me. No cost. We just wanted to see it go to a good home and people can use it. So that's it, Chuck.
Okay, very good then, Larry. Thanks again for checking in, and I will keep you in mind. And I agree with passing on to others because you know, young families don't always have the coin to buy brand new, and nothing wrong with secondhand as long as it's not damaged. So, all right, very good, Larry. Thanks again. So let's move over to Albert, VA3 Bravo Tango.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody on frequency. Not a whole lot on my end here, just to check in. Yeah, not too much going on. Just been busy at work. I got to wrap this one up at the end of the month, or not this month, sorry, the end of April. Yeah, we'll see where I go from there. I'm not even going to say it. But anyways, we'll hand it back over to you there, VA3BT.
Barry.
Thanks.
Oh, the highway to hell. All right, very good. Okay, Albert. Well, you know, if they're going to put you up at the Ritz Hotel, you won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, the Ritz. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I say just bring your trailer, and they can pay for the space at the campground.
Well, it would definitely be cheaper than a hotel. Let's put it that way. I don't think I'd have an argument there. I don't think it would be an issue.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it'd probably be cheaper than paying for full-on accommodations. You're going to bring your own, and they just got to pay for the square footage, whatever they charge. So, yeah, I'm sure you'll work it out. Okay, Albert, any plans for the weekend?
Not really. It looks still looking like a real good weekend there, Chuck. It's calling for quite a bit of rain Saturday and Sunday, so yeah, not a whole lot. I do have a ton of stuff I got to do outside, but I'll wait till the nicer weather comes around.
All right, very good then. Okay, Albert, thanks again. Hope you stick around. Lots of fun trivia tonight, and on this day, interesting facts there. So, anyways, so we'll clear with Albert, and let's see who else is out there would like to check in. And before I do that, I want to say hello to the YouTube check-ins, VE3KDT, Wade, VA3NCA, Steel City Coach, that's Sean, VE3FNI, And who else we got there? We got a few. We got Guy, my cousin Guy from Ottawa. Hello, Guy. Bill joined us, VE3IUK, and NVA, or sorry, VNA, VE3VNA in East Toronto. Good evening. And lots of chats going on there. Don't have time to read all of it, but welcome everyone.
Victor Alpha 3.
B3 Bravo Kilowatt.
B3 AXJ.
CA3NCA. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Delta Victor Mobile.
There we go. That's who I heard. Well, I heard Cal on the portable, Rick, and Wade. So let's say hello to Cal, VA3 Charlie Delta Victor.
Hi there, Chuck, and thanks for doing the net. I'm on my way to hockey, so I won't stay long, but I do have one thing I want to tell folks. My wife and I used to run a newspaper for 10 years. It's called The Hamiltonian, and we recently relaunched. It's now available at thehamiltonian.net, and our first guest is Mayor Andrea Horvath. So, if you want to check it out, it's online. We'll probably have some really good guests, and I also plan to do a feature on the Hamilton Radio Club at some point in the future. So, just thought I'd tell you guys that. Again, thehamiltonian.net, VA3CDV. I need to go clear, but nice to hear you, Chuck, and 73 every on frequency.
All right, Cal. Well, congratulations. So again, that's the website is thehamiltonian.net. Is that correct?
You got it. And as we speak, there's our guest, the mirrors on there. So it'll be a good read if you guys want to check it out.
All right. Very good, Cal. And again, much success to you and the paper. So again, folks, that's thehamiltonian.net. And Andrea Horvath is on there for an interview. So very good then. All right. Good luck tonight, Cal. Remember to keep your stick on the ice. Let's move over to Rick now, VE3BK.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody on frequency. And the weekend. That contest, boy, it's a good time to get some DX because this is a prefix contest worldwide, and so you get some good strange islands and everything with strange prefixes that you're going to look up to find out where they are. So that'll be good. Anyway, hump day. This is hump day, and you can tell that that's from somebody that's still working. And I know when I was working, we always said TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, because we didn't work on insulation. We didn't work on weekends normally, so only if there was some cutover or something going on. So, but anyway, you were mentioning about TV for a monitor. Yes, it works really good. I got a 32-inch, nice and big, and you can usually use the HDMI port on the TV. So you've got to make sure you get the right kind of cord to go between the computer and the TV, though. But then you can watch TV too. So you can even watch some of the stuff that's online. So that's good too. That's some interesting that you might want to try. And you can also use that for a second monitor. So like most computers can do two monitors, and that the second one that's good too. If you got the room in your shack, whatever. Anyway, like your QSL cards up there, ZF2VE, good one. Cayman Islands, okay. Yeah, and I just got a card too from Cayman Islands. It was for a special event station, 50 years of some radio society. I haven't got the card in front of me, so I can't remember what it was. It was AO50 MDR, I think, or something like that. MDR, I think that was it. Anyway, so that's it for me, Chuck. And back to net there, VA3CJZ, do a great job. V3 Bravo Kilowatt.
All right, very good, Rick. Yeah, I finally got a QSL card there from that gentleman in the Cayman Islands, and to the left of that is the that picture belongs to the call sign above it, YR8D. That's, I believe, in Romania, and that's the guy's station out in Romania there with all those towers below. That's his. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I thought I'd put up a whole whack of them. I know we got that contest coming up there, and I've got uh, call signs from all over the world. Thought I'd put a few up and let you guys see what's out there. Some really unique call signs, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I plan on participating in that contest this weekend. Not sure if I'm going to use the software or not, but I'm definitely going to see how things go. And if it's going really well and I can spend a lot of time, I'll probably try and get some points. The last year's the CQ Worldwide DX contest there, I sent my logs in too late, and so they didn't make the list. So I was quite disappointed about that. So I think you got like 5 days to put your logs in. Make sure you make sure you get things done. If you're a procrastinator, you'll be left out in the cold, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, well, they would put your login as a check log. It'd still be useful to them to check, to verify contacts. So that is good. Yeah, and now they mentioned that somebody said it's going to rain on the weekend. Well, you know what? We found that when we had rainy weather or crummy weather, the radio seemed to work really well. So, if you can't get outside and do some work or whatever, because it's raining, turn that radio on and get some of them good contacts. Because the WPX is a prefix contest, and you'll get some prefixes know where they are until you look them up. It's just like if they use Charlie Fox here in Canada, they can use Charlie Fox or even the old CB prefix they use here in Canada. So, unless you're familiar with it, you wouldn't know what country you're working or what island you're working or what continent you're working. So anyway, turn that radio on and have some fun. Anyway, that's it for me, and back to that BA3CJZ from B3BK.
All right, Rick. Yeah, let's hope the conditions pick up with that rainy weather. Maybe the absorption will work in reverse, and we'll get good reflection. So thanks for your check-in, Rick. Always a pleasure. Rick is net controller on Monday nights on the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club net on the HF portion. Marty, VE3QEE, has the 2 meter and 70 centimeter on Monday nights at 7. And then Rick takes over on 7.100 at 8 p.m. And lately, he's been using Barry's remote, and it's been working very well. Barry has a great station out there in Rosedale, and yeah. So actually, I think Rick, you'll be on tomorrow on the remote, right?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah. I was just going to mention that. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we're doing the TP net. VA3 Charlie Whiskey Mike will be on from 3 p.m. till 4 p.m. So check in. Anybody can check in on the TP net, and that is 7100 frequency. That's why we do it there on Monday nights. There, Chuck, over.
All right. Well, didn't you used to call that the Warplane Heritage Museum Net? Or you always call it the TP, or that's Transprovincial, for those of you wondering what TP stands for, Transprovincial Net. So, but it was held out at the Warplane. So you guys are trying to find a location now. I understand. I was talking to Barry today on the Transprovincial Net, and he mentioned they're looking for a permanent home for for a radio room, and that's still in the works there, right?
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, that's one reason why it is a TP-net 7100, but VA3 Charlie Whiskey Mike Warplane Heritage Museum does do it for that 1 hour, and because of the antenna situation and all that, the remote is the ideal thing for them guys at the moment anyway, and they are looking for a permanent home for the remote station. And so right now we're just making sure there's no bugs in the remote setup, and so I've been operating on that the remotely, and not too many people are have access to it at the moment. So once it gets a permanent home, and they're going to open it up to the club members, I think, and it'll be a great thing. And hopefully it'll be located in Hamilton here somewhere. So anyway, okay, back to net again. BK.
All right. Yeah, there's always something else I keep remembering to bring up there. So, okay, Rick, thanks again. We'll talk to you soon. Anytime you got a comment, jump right in there. And we got a really good net tonight for trivia and on this day. And with that, speaking of which, let's say hello to the other downtown Rick, VA3AXJ. Rick, come on in.
Oh, I didn't think you got me there, Chuck. Not much to report. Just hanging in here. Thought I'd turn on the radio. Didn't turn it on last week. Feel kind of rough. Anyhow, yeah, I'll be here for a bit and listening.
All right, very good, Rick. As a matter of fact, I think you did come in, but around 9 o'clock last week. So, yeah, I think you were in. I could be mistaken, but yeah, well, hopefully you're feeling better. And I know you have good days and bad days, just like the rest of us. So hang in there, buddy. And we got to get together and have a coffee or bottle of water or something. Got to put eyeballs on you there. It's been a while.
Roger. Okay, Chuck. I'll be listening. Hope we got something good tonight. Back to you. VA3XJ will be listening.
All right, Rick, I sure do. So hang in there. It won't be long. Let's say hello to Wade in Dundas, VA3NCA.
VA3 CJZ, VA3NCA. Sorry there, Chuck. I had to, oh, you're probably hearing the YouTube delay there. I just had to mute it quickly. Yeah, sorry, you caught me off guard. I had to reach for the mic, but I'm here now. Got in a little late, but I caught up to you guys on YouTube. Good net so far. Glad I could make an RF check-in to make it official. One thing about the chat there, I'm not sure if you caught our DX station, but we had a Kilo Bravo 2 Uniform Echo Whiskey check-in. Looks like from Nevada. So that's Kilo Bravo 2 Uniform Echo Whiskey. I'm not sure if you saw him check in on the YouTube stream, but I didn't hear you when you ran down the list from that side, so thought I'd mention it. Today at work was a good one. It was the monthly of the March Maker Space Repair Cafe. So showed up to see what we could do to help people out, and must have been vacuum night because we had 2 vacuums. Managed to fix them both. So some students brought in some vacuums, so I guess I contributed to clean dorms tonight, I suppose. So a couple of us just worked our way through them. And just to round out the odd repair requests, was the wheel on a piece of luggage was damaged. So worked on that and managed to get 3 for 3 repairs. So it was a pretty good, successful night and a nice time to meet some students and try and help them out, fix some things up. So I enjoy doing that. It is the Repair Cafe, the third Wednesday in most months. So we're done for another month until we meet again in April. So yeah. Anyways, other than that, not much going on. Haven't done much radio yet this week, but maybe this weekend's weather will accommodate a POTA outing. We'll have to see how it develops. Not much else, but looking forward to listening along to the rest of the net. And thanks again for doing it as always. Back to Net Control VA3NCA.
All right, very good, Wade. I understand your 10-meter antenna was a success there last weekend, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it isn't strictly my design. Obviously, I don't think there are any new designs under the sun. Although maybe that's not true. But I took my own take on it by cutting off. So I guess it's closest to a bazooka dipole, I guess is what they call it, and it's basically a half wavelength on 10 meters of coax. It's stripped in half, and the shield from the top half is rolled back over top of the jacket of the bottom half, and so the fold back of the shield acts as the ground plane side of the dipole. And then I slapped an SO239 on the top, and I connected up to a whip mount. And then I use the radiator on the whip, and I extend it to be a quarter wavelength on 10. So if you follow, what I end up with is basically a length of coax with the sleeve doubled up, and end fed from the feed line. The feed line feeds at the bottom, all the way up through the rolled back shield until the whip mount, and then the radiator is the quarter wave on top. So anyways, the point is that when we were experimenting with it out at Salt Fleet last weekend, I set it up for 10 meters and measured out sort of what the length of the radiator had to be, and I cut back a little bit of the shield to tune it. I'm going to do one more time in the backyard, tuning it up, and when I'm happy with the tune, I'm going to shrink wrap the shield so it doesn't get exposed to moisture and stuff like that. And then I think I'll have a 10-meter antenna that I can play around with. So it's a fun thing to do, and hopefully it does well. It's a single bander. It only is for 10 meters, so it's not the most flexible thing, but what makes it a little more flexible is I can make a different one for each band I want, and it's just a loop of coax, and then the radiator adjusted to the length I need. That's the plan, anyways. We'll see how it works.
And that was Martinique.
All right, thanks, Wade. And what was that comment there, Mac? Who's Martinique?
The 10-meter contact at the park on Saturday was Martinique.
Oh, right. Okay, very good. Oh, and Wade, thanks for pointing out that Alvaro has joined us from Nevada. Thanks, Alvaro. Kilo Bravo 2, Uniform Echo Whiskey, is checking in with us on YouTube from Nevada. Welcome, Alvaro. And I see Bill either has a radio or is getting one, a 706 with a matching auto tuner. So congratulations, Bill. I'm not sure when you're supposed to get that or if you've got it already, but congratulations. Hope you're happy with that. I think now all you need is a home radio for 2 meter 77 centimeter, I think you said. So very good. All right, so that clears my list now. Let's see who else is out there would like to join us on this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ, Chuck in Hamilton. Okay, then. Nothing heard there. So we do have some announcements for the contest coming up this weekend. And like we mentioned previously, it's a pretty big one for sideband. And let's start off. Actually, yeah, it's called the CQ Worldwide WPX Contest for sideband. And that goes on for 48 hours, starting Friday at 7 o'clock. And the bands are 10 meters through 160. So 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. I personally don't have 160 capabilities for transmitting, but I can surely receive. So that's the big one this weekend. Starts 0 Zulu time, March 29th to 23:59, March 30th. And let's see what else. Got another one called the Classic Exchange, and that's for CW. And there's 2 time periods for that. So CW for 2 meters, 6, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Again, that's for CW. There are 2 different uh, time periods that they'll be active. Actually goes right. The first one is March 30th at 0700 Zulu until uh, March 31st, and 1300 Zulu April 1st to 0700 April 2nd. So if you want any more information on all the contests that are available, just open up your web browser and type in contestcalendar.com. And I usually click on the 8-day button there right next to the home button, and you can get all the info on any contests that are there. And with that, is there anyone else who has any announcements that they would like to make here on the net? Maybe you're buying or selling, or you have something to offer someone. Please come now.
Correction.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the CQ World WPX contest starts at 8 o'clock on Friday night. Right now we're 4 hours difference because of the daylight savings. So it doesn't start at 7, it starts at 8 o'clock at night and goes for 48 hours. And that's all I got.
Yes, I forgot because of the time change. It's no longer 7 p.m. for 0 Zulu. For us, it's 8 p.m. Thanks for that, Rick. Good catch. Much appreciated. All right, so I see Bill said his radio is being delivered Saturday morning. So I bet you he's all excited for that, Bill. Like I said, congratulations, and I hope you're happy with your new purchase. And so let's see if there's anyone else out there listening that would like to check in with our amateur radio exchange group. Please come now.
V3RWJ.
Victor Alpha 3.
VA3 Mike Hotel Victor.
All right, got 3 stations in there. A couple of you doubled up, but I think I got you. We've got RWJ, NFG, and Mike Hotel Victor. So let's say hello to Chris, VE3RWJ.
Hi, Chuck. You're sounding good. I'm listening on YouTube. Thanks for the stream, because I have my local noise, so I'm not hearing a bunch of people, but I can hear them all from from your shack. No traffic or announcements or anything. Been back from Barbados for about 6 days, and it was great, but good to be back home and back into regular routines too. And hopefully it'll warm up soon here. Back to you, V3RWJ.
All right, very good, Chris. So you were gone for what, 2 weeks, I think? Did you get good weather?
Oh yeah, February and March is like their busiest tourist season, and it's consistent. Like it's 28 to 30 every day and sunny. I think we had one day where we had some rain, but other than that, it was 2 weeks of perfect weather, pretty well.
Ah, very good then. So that's why they have March break when they have March break, because that's usually when the temperatures, when you're close to the tropics, improves quite a bit. I know, of course, Daytona Beach, Fort Lauderdale for the States, and all across through the Southwest to California even. So, and then, of course, in the Caribbean, that's nice. I've never been to any Caribbean island. Maybe one day. Barbados sounds like a lot of fun, but I understand things are fairly expensive because everything has to be shipped in there because it is a tiny island. Over.
Yeah, they have to import everything, and it's fairly far east compared to the other Caribbean islands. It's off the coast. Oh boy, maybe Venezuela. Anyway, it's fairly close to the equator, and they're 1 hour east of us. They're same time zone as Nova Scotia. Anyway, we like it. It's very safe. Honestly, when we're down there, we hear about more shootings and things back here than than down there. So it's kind of reversed of what it used to be.
Ah, okay, very good then. Yeah, yeah, you're down somewhere where it's safer than it is back home. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, Chris. Well, very good then. You got a great signal coming in here and good audio. So thanks for your check-in and welcome back.
Yep, 73, and hopefully we're gonna try a beam next. Hopefully we'll be able to turn that and null out whatever the noise is that I get every night around here. I've never been able to track it down walking around the neighborhood. So anyway, we're gonna try a directional antenna next.
All right. Well, coming in here, you're like 40 over S9, so really good signal with your antenna there. But I guess on the receive side, it's a negative for you. So, all right. Good luck with that then. Okay. So moving right along. Where am I now? Let's go say hello to Steve, VE3 NFG.
Victor Alpha 3, November, Foxtrot Golf. Good evening, Chuck, and to all on net. I've got no traffic here, Chuck. Just to add the theme to the pod Wednesday night. AREG net. And could be worse. There could be 2 feet of snow on the grass there. We'd have to shovel up. And, anyway, I'm glad there isn't. Anyway, that's it. Really, Chuck. I'll be listening along. I've got an early call. Listen for a little bit. Thank you, Minette, DA3, and FG.
All right, Steve. Well, I got to tell you, you must be sitting in your lazy boy, rocking back and forth because it was kind of rough there. You were dropping all the way out and then coming back up. Remember, you got to stay still when you're using that handy talkie. And I did catch most of what you said, though. So let me guess, were you sitting?
Nope, I'm standing up. I moved to the sunroom, and I'm right in front of a 48-inch by 48-inch window. And I'm at the northeastern corner of the house. So that's the closest I could probably get in your direction.
All right, you peaked at S9 that time, Steve, so very good. I corrected your call in the log, VA3 NFG, because VE3 came up as someone else. So if I I would have changed it at some point. Thanks again for checking in, Steve. And you said you had an early day tomorrow, so thank you for hanging around as long as you did. All right, so let's say hello to Steve's coworker, VA3 Mike Hotel Victor. Mark, come on in.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and all on net. Just to check in for the net, Chuck. Had a kind of a late dinner, just winding down from a day's work here. I had to clear up my mess, so I was listening along, just waiting for a chance to get in. I wanted to give you one for the log, and I'll be here for the duration.
All right, sounds good, Mark. You got a way better signal than Steve. Mind you, you're basically right in line with me up on the escarpment there, so you got a much stronger signal coming in. So good copy on you there tonight, Mark. Thanks again for the check-in and following along on YouTube. I think you were in there as well. Not sure, but for those of you just tuning in, I am streaming the net live on YouTube. Just put in my call in the YouTube search, and that's VA3CJZ. Look for us live, or tonight's title is AREG Week 1645. Last week, I believe we crossed the halfway point for the new, for year 31. So we're at 31.5 last week. So we're getting closer to 32 years on the air each week consecutively there. So congratulations for all your support. It's much appreciated. And so with that, let's see if we have any other check-ins for tonight's net. Please come now. This is VA3CJZ. Okay, I thought I'd take a moment to quickly refill my coffee cup. I have a feeling we're going to be going to trivia next, and so I got to keep the throat lubricated there. So sorry about the dead air time, but I guess we're going to start some trivia. Let's see now. What do we have? We have one here that's called Science Trivia Questions. It's not a multiple answer, but let's see how everybody makes out playing along with us here with the YouTube and on the radio. And I'll see who gets the answers, and we'll go from there. I do have several trivias tonight, so I might jump from one to the next. Let's start with this one here. What element did Joseph Priestley discover in 1774? It's a pretty common one. We use it every day. What element did Joseph Priestley discover in 1774?
Oxygen.
Life is oxygen. Remember that song?
Was love is like oxygen.
Oh, okay. But I got the oxygen part right. Okay, what inorganic molecule is produced by lightning? What inorganic molecule is produced by lightning?
Oh, yes, that's ozone.
Look at the big brain on Brad. Actually, you, Wade, and Bill got that one right. Way to go, guys. All right, let's go with something a little different. Bronze is an alloy consisting primarily of what two elements? What two elements are in bronze?
Copper and tin.
All right, very good. You got that one right. And Wade and Bill and Mark. No, Mark got copper and zinc. That's a different one. All right, let's go to another one. I really like this one. This is from Reader's Digest, and it's called 100 Tricky Science Trivia Questions with Answers. And we're in the easy science trivia category. So, what's the largest planet in our solar system? Anyone know?
I want to say Uranus.
Well, what you want is you use anything you want, but the correct answer is Jupiter. That is Jupiter.
That was the 12-year-old in me.
I know, I know. All right, what's the fastest animal on land?
Cheetah.
Does anyone know how fast a cheetah can go?
68 miles an hour.
Is that right? I thought it broke the 70. I'm not sure about that. Maybe somebody can check and let us know. I don't have the answer to that. I was just curious.
They had one faster, but he was blood doping.
Yeah, the cheetah was cheating. All right, this one's right up Mac's alley. What do you call an animal that eats a variety of other organisms, including plants, animals, and fungi? What do you call an animal that eats a variety of other organisms, including plants, animals, and fungi?
You can either call him Mac or omnivore.
That is correct. Mac, you and Bill got that one right. Wade thought it was a camivore. Sorry, Wade. All right, that was a good one. What's the most abundant element in the universe?
Hydrogen.
Stupidity.
I thought it was dark matter, but I'm not sure if dark matter is not an element. So, anyways. All right. What element is most commonly used to create nuclear energy?
Uranium, because they can't get enough of unobtainium.
Yes, or vibranium from Wakanda. Very good, Mac. You and Wade and Bill got that right. Here's an interesting one. What do you call molten rock before it has erupted?
Magma.
And that is correct. All right, Smarty Pants. What country has the most tornadoes? And that is correct, Wade. The United States of America has the most tornadoes out of every other country. And Bill got it right. Guy, Wade, trailer parks. Yes, sir. Trailer parks are the first to go. And Mark got that right. All right, this one is supposed to be hard science trivia. I won't even ask it. Well, I'll ask it. It says, are the sun and the moon the same size? That's a ridiculous question. The answer is no. The sun is 400 times larger than the moon, but because it's 400 times farther away, both appear the same size in the sky. Yeah, this Earth is the only planet that has a moon that does that, by the way. That's why we get solar eclipses, because of the 400 times distance there. All right, this is interesting. What are the most common elements in the human body? There are several. Can you guys name them?
Iron, copper, zinc, magnesium, and calcium.
No. Bill brought up an interesting point there. What is the only moon in the solar system with an atmosphere? I don't know. All right, so the answer to what are the most common elements in the human body? Well, the answer is by mass, about 96% of our bodies are made of 4 key elements: oxygen at 65%, carbon 18.5%, hydrogen 9.5%, and nitrogen 3.3%. So there you go. That was a hard question. All right, here's an easier one. I think I've mentioned this one in another trivia question. Roughly how long does it take for the sun's light to reach Earth?
8 minutes.
Yes, correct there, Chris. But in the answer here, it says 8 minutes and 20 seconds. So that's a new one for me. And so you and Bill got that right. And the answer to Bill's question about the moon with the in our solar system with an atmosphere, he says he thinks it's Titan. So very good. Did you know that there's a rock that floats? Does anyone know what it's called?
Rock light.
Well, that's for pansies. If you're going to go rock, you go hard rock. I'm talking about music, of course. The answer is pumice. Pumice is actually a rock, and it floats. So there you go. You learned something new. All right. I saw the guys on Mythbusters, I think, do this test, but I don't know if this answer is correct. But, anyways, how long is the memory of a goldfish? Yeah, you see, Wade said 3 minutes. That's what I thought. It was very, very low because I heard they weren't very bright, so they didn't have a very good memory. But the answer they have here is at least 6 months. So there you go. All right. What scale is used to measure the hardness of minerals? Like rocks, I'm guessing, or diamonds and crystals and that. Does anybody know what the scale is called? What scale is used to measure the hardness of minerals?
Brunel.
Think of the Three Stooges, one of their names, one of the guys. The answer is the Mohs scale. It's spelled Mohs. The Mohs scale. All right. What is hydrogen oxide called? What is the non-science name?
You mean hydrogen dioxide?
No, it says here hydrogen oxide. The answer is water. And Chris got that right, as well as Wade. And you're losing to a goldfish. Yeah, that's funny. And Bill got it right. So very good.
Yeah, except H2O is water, and that's hydrogen dioxide, no?
At the moment, I'm not sure, Mac. If you're going to make my brain work, I'm just reading what's in front of me right now. So there you go. Look it up and get back to me. All right. What's the most abundant element in the Earth's crust? And the answer is oxygen. Oxygen is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust. All right. So with this trivia page that I have here, that's the Reader's Digest one. This will be my last question for this one. Which element on the periodic table was named after physicist Albert Einstein? Which element on the periodic table was named after physicist Albert Einstein? You're going to laugh. The answer is Einsteinium. I kid you not. Einsteinium. Capital E, small s. There you go. That was funny. I don't care who you are. That was funny. All right. Let's see. Do I have another one here before we start on this day? What's this one? 6th grade science trivia question. Ooh. All right. What is the name of the long bone in the upper arm? That's very humorous, Wade. All right, Wade and Chris both got that one right. It is the humerus. We said in the arm, Mark. Got to listen. All right. And Wade. Yep. All right. Where was I here? Lost my place. Where in the human body can the smallest bone be found?
That's what she said.
What did you say? The answer is the ear. Way to go, Wade and Bill. Got that right. The smallest bone in the human body. I thought it would have been in the feet or the hands. I don't know. It's a good one.
So what's that called?
The ear.
No, the little bone that bangs on the drum in the ear. What do you call that thing?
The hammer and sickle.
I'm thinking of something. I mean, I've heard it before. It's like a cagula or fibula or something like that, but it's got a weird name to it.
Yeah, I never made it to med school there, Mac, so I couldn't tell you. All right. So going back to who was it that wrote? I think it was Mark. Okay, so what is the longest bone in the human body? Now is the time to say it. The longest bone in the body is the femur. Want to go Wade, Bill, both got that right. Okay, so I think we'll put a stop right there and probably jump over to On This Day. I've got quite a bit of stuff for On This Day, and I want to make sure I have enough time to say 7-3 with everyone. So I think we'll put a pin in this one, and we'll pick it up next time on trivia, on the trivia portion of the net. I think we only did 15 minutes with this one. So Chris is saying, according to ChatGPT, the 3 tiny bones in the middle ear that transmit sound vibrations to the inner ear are called the malleus, or the hammer, the incus, which is the anvil, and stapes, S-T-A-P-E-S, also called the stirrup. Does that ring any bells there, Mac?
Oh, I gotcha. I see what you did there.
All right. Very good. All right. I do have one more, though. I got to ask this one. It's really interesting. What is the only mammal that can fly backwards?
The hummingbird.
And that is absolutely correct, Mac. It is, in fact, the hummingbird. The hummingbird can, of course, go forward, backwards, sideways, upside down, you name it. Very good.
And sometimes it can make a funny noise on your radio. No, maybe it's something different than that.
Yeah, I did figure out what was causing my noise problem. It was just as I thought, and I did, in fact, prove it, and it was the adapter plug for my foot switch and microphone, the Y adapter. There's a gap where the plug goes in. It's not snug, and if it moves slightly, it creates that buzzing sound. And so what I did is I kind of wedged it in there. When you put the faceplate back on, you have a little slot that puts in the cord there, and it's snugly secure in there. So hopefully you don't hear any noise coming out of my audio tonight.
Oh, clean and clear. Yeah, wrap it in the tin foil out of your cigarette package, and you're good to go. Just like the fuse that blew in your car.
I actually did that with a motorcycle fuse. I was not even close to a town, city, or anything, and blew the fuse. Bike wouldn't start, no lights, nothing. So I did exactly that. Took the foil out of a cigarette pack, wrapped the broken fuse, and it was enough to get me back into town.
That's absolutely right. And you could use a lighter or a lit match on the bottom side of the foil in order to separate the paper from metallic film, just so that it spins it out. So you clean off the paper backing, and that can be used as a stopgap for any type of automotive fuse. Well, the old automotive fuses, the little pitchfork ones that we use nowadays in modern cars, not so easy. But even then, a piece of 18 gauge wire, you can make a jumper out of that too. Anyways, that's how we jerry rig things. That, a little bit of duct tape and binder twine, and you're away to the races.
And that's absolutely correct, Mac. That is what I did. Actually, back in my day, well, that would be your day too, Mac. In high school, there was this thing going on with who could make the biggest ball of foil from cigarette packs, and everyone was burning or heating up the paper in between there, the paper that was stuck on the foil of cigarette packs. And so everybody was collecting those foils from cigarette packs and trying to make the biggest foil ball nice and shiny there. And so, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Roger that. Don't hate the players, hate the game.
Absolutely. All right. So, without further ado, how about we start on this day in history? We're at week 213. Quite the hit with everyone. And so, do we have any check-ins, comments, questions, or check-ins for tonight's net before I get started? This is VA3CJZ. All right, then let's get started. And Bill, by the way, VE3IUK, yes, the Hummingbird is like a jet fighter. What is it? Those Harrier jets. It can remain stationary in mid-flight as well. And very good. So with that, we always start with today's famous birthdays, and we start in the year 1880 when Mr. Duncan Hines was born. He turned out to be an American restaurant guide writer, or today we called him a critic, restaurant critic. And it was called, his book was called Out of Kentucky Kitchens. And he was born in Bowling Green, Kentucky. He died in 1959. He was an American author and food critic known for his restaurant ratings for travelers. He is best known today for the brand of food products that bears his name, Duncan Hines Cake Mix. That's all I know. All right, born on this day in 1896, Rudolf Dassler, German entrepreneur, and is a founder of the sportswear company Puma, born in Germany. He died in 1974. Next, we have William Westmoreland. That may sound familiar. He was born in 1914. Geez, that was the first year of World War I. He was an American general and commander of the American forces in the Vietnam War between 1964 and 68. Born in South Carolina. Next, we have Strother Martin, born on this day in 1919. Let me see if you remember this line from a movie. And it goes like this. What we have here is a failure to communicate. That was from the movie Cool Hand Luke, of course. And he was also in the movie Slapshot. Strother Martin. He passed away in 1980. Born in Kokomo, Indiana. That's right, Bill. Slapshot, the movie. Next, we've got Leonard Nimoy, born on this day, 1931, March 26th. Of course, Leonard Nimoy is best known for his role as Spock on Star Trek. He was also in Mission Impossible from 1969 to 71. And he was a director for the movie Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. And he was also in Three Men and a Baby. Didn't know that. Born in Boston, Massachusetts. All right, this next person is also in the movies. Alan Arkin was born on this day, 1934. An American Tony and Academy Award-winning actor. You might remember the movie The Russians Are Coming. The Russians Are Coming. He was in many, many movies. Wait Until Dark. Catch 22, The In-Laws, Little Miss Sunshine, and the list goes on. He was also a director and born in New York City, passed away in 2023. Oh, and Guy is saying that he was in Man from U.N.C.L.E., and so was Shatner. Didn't know that. I used to watch that all the time. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Ilya Kuryakin. All right, James Caan was born on this day, 1940. We all know him as a famous actor. He was in the Godfather and a whole bunch of movies. He also had a series called Vegas, I think. And he was born in the Bronx, New York. Nancy Pelosi turns 85 today. Born in 1940, American politician. She's a Democrat representing California. And she is the first female Speaker of the House from 2007 to 2011, and again from 2019 to 2023. Born in Baltimore, Maryland. So we've all heard of the Watergate scandal with Richard Nixon. Next is Bob Woodward, celebrating 82nd birthday today. Born in 1943, he's an American author and investigative reporter for Watergate and CIA crimes. Born in Illinois. Way to go, Bob. Diana Ross is 81 today. Born in 1944, she's an American singer, originally with the Supremes. Stop in the Name of Love. And You Can't Hurry Love. And on and on and on. She was also an actress, born in Detroit, Michigan. She was a very, very big defender of Michael Jackson during his questionable charges, I guess, of pedophilia and so on with Michael Jackson. She was a big supporter of Jackson. Next, born in 1947, we have Dar Robinson, an American stuntman born in Los Angeles, and he died sadly in 1986. Robinson broke 19 world records and set 21 world's first. He invented the decelerator, which allowed a cameraman to film a top-down view of the stuntman as he fell without accidentally showing the airbag on the ground. He lost his life on an offset motorcycle accident. Steven Tyler turns 77 today. He's the front man for Aerosmith. Walk This Way, and Dude Looks Like a Lady. Born in 1948 in New York City.
Back in the saddle again.
Yep. And continuing with music, in 1949, Fran Sheehan was born, an American rock bassist for Boston. More Than a Feeling. Guess where he was born, Mac?
Somewhere in Massachusetts?
Born in Boston, Massachusetts. And you know what? It took me years to figure out that that album cover was an upside down guitar, looked like a spaceship. For years, I overlooked that.
Oh, you could have called, right? I would have filled you in.
Yeah. But, you know, back in the late 70s, you know. Anyways, next we've got Vicki Lawrence, born on this day, 1949. She's an American television actress. You might remember her on the Carol Burnett Show. And she had her own show called Mama's Family. She was also a singer. She sang the one-hit wonder, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. Born in Inglewood, California. And next, we have Hamilton's very own Martin Short, turning 75 today, born in 1950. He's a Canadian comedian who worked on SNL, SCTV. He was on the Three Amigos, and yeah, born in Hamilton. Born in 1957, Lisa Gibbons, American TV host for Entertainment Tonight. And she had her own show as well called Lisa, born in Hartsville, South Carolina. And born on this day, 1960, is Jennifer Grey, American actress who was in Dirty Dancing. She was in Red Dawn, and she was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, born in New York City. And we have another Canadian connection. Born in 1969, Luke Richardson, Canadian ice hockey defenseman who won the World Championship gold in 1994. He was with the Toronto Maple Leafs, Edmonton Oilers, Philadelphia Flyers, and he was the coach of the Chicago Blackhawks. And he was born in Ottawa, Ontario. Turning 52 today, we have Larry Page. Born in 1973, Larry Page is an American computer scientist and businessman. He co-founded Google along with Sergey Brin, born in East Lansing, Michigan. Keira Knightley turns 40 today, born in 1985. She's an English actress. They have her here in Bend It Like Beckham and Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, okay. Born in London, England. And finally, we have Paige Van Zandt, born on this day, 1994. She's an American mixed martial artist, born in Oregon, but now she's in that slap competition there. I don't know, power slap, I guess you call it. You may have seen some of the videos where she takes and gives out slaps. All right. Next, we have who died today in history. And we start with Ludwig van Beethoven. He died in 1827 on this day, German composer. Died of liver disease at the age of 56.
Rollover.
Beethoven. The year is 1865. Thomas Hancock passed away. He's an English pioneer of the rubber industry. Dies at the age of 79. The rubber industry is most the rubber trees. What they do is they skin rubber right off the trees, and it grows back. Apparently, if you don't abuse them, and those are usually found in countries that are at the equator, mostly in the South American equator region, Brazil, and other countries in that area. It's also found in Africa. So, yeah.
Chisel off the bark, let them bleed, and they collect the sap that drips out. That becomes the rubber.
Yeah. I wonder if that was discovered by accident or the natives showed the white guy all about it. All right, let's go back to Canada now. We have George Vizina passing away in 1926 on this day. He's a Canadian Hockey Hall of Fame goalie after whom the Vizina Trophy is named. He won the Stanley Cup in 1916 and 1924 with the Montreal Canadiens. Died of tuberculosis at the age of 39. All right, dying in 1974 now, we have Edward Condon, American nuclear physicist who was a pioneer in quantum mechanics. And he was involved in the Manhattan Project. He was 72 when he passed away. Does anyone have a Hewlett Packard laptop or computer or printer? I do. David Packard died on this day in 1996 at the age of 83. He was an American electronic engineer, businessman, and co-founder of Hewlett Packard. Next, we have Marshall Applewhite dying on this day in 1997, along with a whole whack of people. He was an American cult leader for the cult Heaven's Gate, and he dies leading a mass suicide, and he was 65. This was the largest mass suicide to occur inside the United States. On March 26, 1997, deputies of the San Diego County Sheriff's Department discovered the bodies of 39 active members of the group, including Applewhite. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were all dressed in black suits and took the magic Kool-Aid and laid down in bed and died.
They all got brand new running shoes and were very well hydrated.
Is that what you noticed from the pictures?
Uh-huh. Yep. And we're not going to slag any running shoe manufacturers. I'm sure they had nothing to do with it.
That's right. Okay, thanks, Mac. All right, next we've got Randolfo, or Randy Castillo, dying in 2002. He's an American rock and mariachi drummer for Ozzy Osbourne, Motley Crue, and a band called Azul, A-Z-U-L. Never heard of him. And he dies of cancer at the age of 51.
I've never heard of a mariachi drummer.
Me neither. Me neither, but I'm just reading what it says here. Next, we've got the Shermanator. No, Joe Shermy. His real name is Shermetzler. He died also in 2002, and he was an American bass player with Three Dog Night. Joy to the world. Dies of a heart attack at the age of 56. Who remembers a band called Jan and Dean? Well, in 2004, Jan Berry died. He was an American musician with the group Jan and Dean, and he got a stroke at the age of 62. All right, passing away in 2011, the inventor of super glue, Harry Coover. That's Coover, an American chemist, and of course, the inventor of super glue. He was 94, lived a full life. Also in 2011, a guy by the name of Paul Baran, B-A-R-A-N. He was an internet pioneer who helped create the technical underpinnings of the ARPANET. That's ARPANET. Dies at 84. And the last person on my list is Brian Oldfield, dying in 2017. He was an American shot putter who is credited with making the rotational technique popular. They use it in shot put, the disc, and the hammer throw, where they spin around before letting go of the object. He was 71. All right. So with that, let's take a break and see if there's anybody out there who would like to stop in and check in with us on the net. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3 CDV, I've already checked in, but I'm on my way home, so I'm just listening. Back to you.
All right, Cal, VA3CDV, on his way back from the hockey rink. How long have you been listening there, Cal?
I just caught the last three announcements you made in terms of people passing.
All right, very good. Just being nosy. Very good, Cal. Well, how did the hockey go?
Well, I scored the final goal, which is one goal. So you got to be a pretty big loser if you only score one goal in a game without a goalie. So it's nothing to be.
Don't feel bad, Cal. I saw Mark Carney miss the net from about 3 feet away the other day when he was in Edmonton trying to show off.
Seriously? Okay, I feel better already.
Yeah, they caught it. It was on the news. So there you go. All right, Cal, thanks for checking back in, sir. All right, let's go to today's historical events. And this time we go all the way back to the year 196 BC. And Ptolemy V, that's spelled Ptolemy, Ptolemy V, age 13, is crowned king of Egypt at Memphis by the high priest of Ptah, and the Rosetta Stone is inscribed afterward to proclaim this event. We've all heard of the Rosetta Stone. All right, let's go to Quebec now. The year is 1663. The Quebec Seminary, established by François de Montmorency Laval, is the first bishop of New France. And New France is, Quebec. North America's first institution of higher learning. And next, we go to the year 1752. The Murder Act passes into law in Great Britain, which allows corpses of executed murderers to be given to the Company of Surgeons for dissection. The Murder Act. I like that. It's got a nice ring to it. All right. Next, we have a massive earthquake in Caracas, Venezuela. In 1812, on this day, an earthquake measuring 7.7 on the Richter scale destroys 90% of Caracas, Venezuela, and kills an estimated 15 to 20,000 people. And next, we have the Mormons. In 1820, future Mormon church leader Joseph Smith has his, quote, first vision in a wooded area of New York, according to Mormon scholars, back in 1820. And then 10 years later, in 1830, the Book of Mormon is published in Palmyra, New York.
Why didn't they call it More Women? Because that's what it was all about.
Yeah, more women per man. Oh, yeah, the Mormons, no. Are they allowed to have multiple wives?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's go to 1845 now. And we have a patent awarded for adhesive medicated plaster, also known as, or later to be known as, a Band-Aid. That's in 1845.
Why do they call it plaster? Because you get plastered, you fall down, you got to put something on your forehead.
That's probably right. All right. Let's go to the Battle of Duck Lake. In 1885, Louis Riel's forces defeat Canadian forces at Duck Lake, Saskatchewan, the first engagement of the Northwest Rebellion. All right, in 1885 now, same year as the Battle of Duck Lake, we have the Eastman Film Company manufacturing the first commercial motion picture film. The Eastman Film Company later becomes known as Kodak. Let's move into the 20th century now. In 1910, the United States forbids immigration to criminals, anarchists, paupers, and the sick. So if you're sick, you could never, well, you never know what kind of sickness they got, right? All right, in 1931, New Delhi replaces Calcutta as the capital of the British Indies, what we all today call India. And to this day, New Delhi is the capital still. All right, in 1934, the British figured out that not everyone deserves to be behind the wheel of a car. In 1934, driving tests are introduced in Britain. All right, 1936, we have 200 inches or 17 feet telescope lens shipped by Corning Glassworks to New York's Caltech. 17-foot telescope lens. That's pretty big. Especially for 1936. Speaking of 1936, a lady by the name of Mary Joyce ends a 1,000-mile trip by dog in Alaska. Woo! I just watched the movie with Harrison Ford last night, The Call of the Wild. It's about dogs in the Yukon, and the dogs are all digitally animated, and it's the best. I don't particularly like watching animations, but this one was so well done that the wife and I watched it last night. I recommend it. If you like dogs, it's apparently I've seen video clips on social media that people that own dogs put that movie on for their dog to watch. So yeah, check it out.
Who's a good boy?
I'm not. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's a good one. All right. Next, we got DiMaggio's new bat. In 1937, Joe DiMaggio takes Ty Cobb's advice and replaces his 40-ounce bat with a 36-ounce one. And I guess he did well with it. And also in 1937, spinach growers of Crystal City, Texas, erect a statue of Popeye. So that made me research Popeye. And here we go. Popeye first appeared in the comic strip Thimble Theater on January 17th, 1929. But he became a prominent character in 1933 when he starred in his own animated short, Popeye the Sailor, produced by Max Fleischer Studios. I am what I am.
Hey, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
As I'm listening to you two, I'm reminded of the Johnny Carson show with Ed McMahon. You guys have a thing going there that's funny, so keep it up.
All right. Well, I don't think I'm going to be doing the Karnak bit there, but thanks for that. I appreciate it. All right, next we have raising the flag on Iwo Jima in 1945. Allies, led by U.S. Marine Corps, secured the island of Iwo Jima from the Imperial Japanese Army after 18,000 Japanese and 6,000 Americans were killed. Next, we've got the vaccine for polio in 1953. Dr. Jonas Salk, S-A-L-K, announces that he has successfully tested a vaccine to prevent polio. Clinical trials begin the following year. And the following year was 1954, and the U.S. performs atmospheric nuclear test at Bikini Island. What's an atmospheric nuclear test, you might ask? Well, I looked that up too. Atmospheric nuclear testing refers to the detonation of nuclear weapons in or above the Earth's atmosphere, which releases radioactive materials into the environment and has significant environmental and health consequences.
But that third hand will come in handy.
Hey, do you know when Sputnik was launched into space? Do you remember the year?
Wasn't that 62?
All right. Well, here it says in 1958, the U.S. Army launches America's third successful satellite called Explorer 3. So that's interesting. Yeah, very good, Guy. And all right. So next, where are we? In 1966, we have large-scale anti-Vietnam War protests taking place in the United States, including New York, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. (1957) for Sputnik. Thank you, Bill. There you go. So 58 was a year later for the Army to launch their Explorer 3. Thank you, Bill. VE3IUK. Who remembers Marcus Welby, MD, TV show? That was in 1969, starring Robert Young and James Brolin. Debuts as a TV movie on ABC prior to becoming a weekly series. I remember watching that as a young kid. And did you know that James Brolin is the father of Josh Brolin, the guy who plays Thanos in the Avengers movies? Among other roles, he also plays a time traveler in Deadpool. All right, next let's go to 1970, and we have the 500th nuclear explosion announced by the U.S. since 1945. So in 25 years, they detonated 500 nuclear bombs. Wow. Yes, Bill, that was Marcus Welby, played by Robert Young. And his younger doctor was James Brolin. All right, let's go to some funny stuff now. 1971, Benny Hill show tops the TV ratings. He had all the hottest girls on his show, I swear. Here's another oldie, also in 1971, Cannon, starring William Conrad as a pirate detective, premieres on CBS and airs for 5 seasons.
With extra heavy-duty suspension in Thunderbird because of obvious reasons.
Yep. All right, let's go to 1974 now. George Foreman TKO's Ken Norton in the second round for the WBA and WBC and the ring heavyweight boxing title in Caracas, Venezuela. Now, don't get me wrong, we just lost George Foreman recently, last week, I think. And Ken Norton, he was a heck of a boxer. And I thought for sure that he beat Ali when he fought him. I saw it live, and I was swearing at the TV. It was a robbery. But anyways, George Foreman knocks him out in the second round. All right, 1976, the American League, or the AL, approves the purchase of the Toronto franchise by Labatt Brewing Company for $7 million. That's pretty cheap. That is the Toronto Blue Jays, the baseball franchise. 1976. Also in 1976, Queen Elizabeth II sent out the first royal email from the Royal Signals and Radar Establishment. First email for Queen Elizabeth. And then in 1977, Elvis Costello releases his first record album, and it's called Less Than Zero. Elvis Costello had good music. I liked him. All right, 1982, we have groundbreaking in Washington, D.C. for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. I didn't know it was done in 82, but there you have it. All right, jump ahead 10 years. In 1992, Mike Tyson is sentenced to 10 years for the rape of Desiree Washington, but he only served 3 years in prison. All right, Noel tells us on YouTube that for the bomb tests, there's an animation on YouTube called a time-lapse map of every nuclear explosion since 1945. Thanks, Noel. And they have 1,000. Oh, okay. All right. So now let's go to 1999. The Melissa worm infects Microsoft word processing and email systems around the world. Who remembers that? Well, I guess not too many people. All right. So the Melissa virus is a mass mailing macrovirus released on or around March 26, 1999. It targets Microsoft Word and Outlook based systems and created considerable network traffic. The virus infects computers via email, and the email is titled, quote, important message from, followed by the current username. I don't know if I remember that one, but I know there was a bunch of viruses, and then bombings. Remember when they used to bomb you with all these things? I forget what it is. It's hard to explain now. Your page would get all these ads come up all at once.
Pop-ups?
Yeah, you could actually send those to people, and you can make their the day pretty tough. You'd basically have to reboot your computer after you were sent one of those bombs.
Best thing was to unplug your Ethernet connection and hit the hard restart. Yeah, it was fruitless to try and keep ahead of clicking the X's to shut the individual pop-ups down, because they just kept on coming. Usually you were trolling some questionable websites when all that happened.
Oh, you mean the four-letter word starts with a P?
Oh, maybe some of that, maybe some of that file sharing stuff, and yeah, it was a free range back then, right? The wild, wild west.
Absolutely. All right, very good, Mac. Thanks for that bit of information. Let's go to. Thank God we don't have that many viruses coming out now like we used to. I remember having to put in virus software, and now I find that what is it? The Microsoft Defender does a fine job. I don't have any extra uh, uh, malware or other kind of software for viruses, so it's fine.
Yeah, you just have Microsoft looking over your shoulder. What's worse? They control everything, and everything on your computer is now in the cloud. Very, very safe place.
Yeah, out at some server farm somewhere. All right, very good. Let's go to 2012 now, and Canadian filmmaker James Cameron becomes the first person to visit Challenger Deep. Also, it is the deepest point on Earth in over 50 years. He was the first person in over 50 years to visit Challenger Deep. All right, this next one's going to get you. This is this is just wild. You know how the Chinese are still strong with vending machines? Well, listen to this. In 2018, e-commerce group Alibaba Group and U.S. car maker Ford unveil a car vending machine without salespeople, 5 stories high in Ganju, China. Hey, good night, Al. VA3 Bravo Tango. Take care, my friend. Can you imagine? Yeah, I want the red one. Just put in 25,000 or 40,000 dollars into the machine. Thank you very much. Here's your car. All right, we're near the end here. Also, in 2018, a United States soldier receives the world's first penis and scrotum transplant at Hopkins University in Baltimore, Maryland. I wonder if he was working in the bomb unit to require that. Penis and scrotum transplant. Okay. All right, next, 2019. Maker of OxyContin, Purdue Pharma, agrees to pay Oklahoma $270 million settlement ahead of trial, accusing the company of fueling the opioid epidemic. Yeah, I wonder if what happens when your car gets stuck in the vending machine. Do you shake it? All right, I was just reading from YouTube there. That made me think of that. All right. Also in 2019, a state of emergency is declared in Rockland County, New York, due to the measles epidemic, with unvaccinated children banned from public spaces for 30 days after 153 cases are known. And there's one more for the year 2019. We have the stolen Pablo Picasso painting called the Buste de Femme. Was painted in 1938, and it was recovered after 20 years by a Dutch art detective. All right, now we go to 2020, and the United States charges Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and other officials with narco terrorism, accused of flooding the U.S. with drugs. And in 2022, the British rock band Genesis performs their final concert of farewell tour at the O2 Arena in London, England. He sure is getting old now, that fella. So I got to see Genesis live in concert in the mid '70s in Ottawa at the Ottawa Civic Center. Guy knows that. Hey, Guy. And finally, my last story is in 2024, we have the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore collapsing after being struck by a cargo ship that had lost power, and 6 people were missing, presumed dead, and I believe they were construction workers. So that's it for On This Day in History. I hope you all enjoyed yourself as much as I did, retelling all this information back to you. And with that, do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins? Any last-minute check-ins for tonight's AREG Net? Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Kilo Zulu. Good evening, Chuck. Chris.
Hey, good evening, Chris. You're right on time. We're just about to do a 7-3 round, but how's things with you?
Pretty good, thanks. The HF rig moment on FD8. Listen to all your stories there. It's been a great evening so far. Back to you.
All right, Chris. I don't know what happened with your audio there, but it just died right down to very, very low audio. But I did hear what you said, and I'm glad. Thanks for the compliment. I always really enjoy researching all that information and retelling it. So thanks for listening, Chris.
Hey, appreciate it, Chuck. 7-3s, everybody out there. Thank you.
All right, very good. Your audio went right up there to normal, so thanks. All right, so we'll clear with VA3, CKZ. Anyone else out there wishing to check in, please come now. All right, well, let's check in with Downtown Rick first, see if he's still there. VA3 AXJ. Rick. Oh, all right then. No Rick. So let me go up to the top of the list then and say hello to, Vern. I don't know. Vern, are you there? VA3 CRF. All right, well, let's go over to Ed McMahon. Oh, I'm sorry, Mac. VA3 IMW.
Good reference. All right, great net tonight, Chuck, and I'll let you know that again tomorrow night. Don't forget to join us tomorrow on 446-125 at 7 p.m., and we'll also be streaming the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net on YouTube. Look for my call sign, VA3IMW, and scroll down until you see the like, subscribe, and all the rest of that stuff. Thanks again to VA3IMW. Back to you. Oh, it's pumpkin time for me, so gotta go.
Yeah. I figured we'd be running a little bit late, but thanks for sticking around, Mac, and look forward to checking in with your net tomorrow. And so with that, let's see if Larry's still with us, VE3LBI.
Yeah, we're still here. Listen along. Very good, Chuck. I enjoyed it, and hope everybody gets an opportunity Friday night at 8 o'clock to join in with us.
Absolutely. Let's not forget about the Friday night Rag Chew on the ZOE repeater 443075 and at 8 o'clock, and check in with Larry. So thanks, Larry. Much appreciated for you sticking around tonight. All right, let's go to Wade in Dundas, Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 MCA, good evening, Chuck. Thanks for doing it again. It's a good time as always. Yeah, 7-3 to everybody, and look forward to it next week. And you don't have to come back to me with this, but if you could let us know how many we got tonight, that would be interesting information, and I'll let you go down the line and get the rest of the 7-3s. Good night to you and all. VA3 MCA, back to net control.
Okay, Wade, very good. And so far, I think 18. But I'll have to double check the YouTube stream and make sure I got everybody. But yeah, so far 18. So it was a good turnout. And with that, before I move to the next person, I want to mention to Guy on YouTube there, Mac, that we just heard not too long ago, has started streaming some of the other nets that we have during the week. So if you want, Guy, you can type in VA3IMW in YouTube, and you can follow along with us on the streams that Mac has for the nets throughout the week. They start at 7 p.m. So again, VA3IMW, and just click. You'll see a video and a live button. Click on the live button, and you'll see the day's date with the video there, and you can follow along with us there. That goes for everyone else listening as well, of course, but I thought I'd mention that to Guy if you're interested. And so with that, Albert said good night. Good night, Albert. And let's go to Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and 73 to everybody on frequency and on YouTube. And good net again tonight, Chuck. So thanks for being there and doing it. VA3 CJZ, V3BK.
All right, very good, Rick. Thank you so much for sticking around. And of course, we look forward to checking in with you, tomorrow on the Transprovincial Net on 7.100 at 3 o'clock. And also on Monday nights at 8 o'clock on 7.100. Thanks, Rick. Have a great one. All right, let's try again. VA3AXJ, the other downtown, Rick. All right, I'd like to thank everyone who checked in with us on the YouTube stream. We got Coach, Steel City Coach, who is Sean, VE3FNI. Also, Alvaro from Nevada, Kilo Bravo 2, Uniform Echo Whiskey, joined us again on the YouTube stream. Thank you, Alvaro. I'm not sure how long you stayed with us, but 7-3, we'll catch you next time. As well as VE3 Victor November Alpha in East Toronto. Unfortunately, unable to pull us in with this radio and antenna, but that's the reason I stream on YouTube. All right, let's see if Chris is still with us. VE3RWJ 73 round, Chris. Let's go to Mark, VA3 Mike Hotel Victor.
Yeah, still here, Chuck. Very enjoyable as always, my friend. Thank you for doing it, all the work you put into it. I don't know which I enjoy more, the trivia or the on this day, but I'm still trying to decide. I like them both. VA3 Mike Hotel Victor. We'll be joining in next week. Thanks again, Chuck. 7-3 all.
All right, very good, Mark. Yeah, we try and have a little bit of fun with both. Try to make the trivia funny and interesting at the same time, and the on this day there. So it looks like a lot of people are really enjoying it. So that means I enjoy it. Thanks again, Mark. Have a good one. We'll talk to you again soon. Let's see if Steve is still with us. VA3 NFG. Steve. All right. Well, it's 10:13 p.m. and it's time to wrap it up for another successful edition of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. I want to thank each and every one of you who checked in with me and stuck around, and I hope you all enjoyed yourself. Always a pleasure on this end. I'll be here next week at the same bat time on the same bat channel. This is VA3CJZ saying so long for now. 7-3. Have a great rest of the evening and rest of the week. Talk to you soon.